What's going on, everybody? It's Track Sounds back again, and I got another good tutorial today. Today I'm gonna make a Summer Walker type beat, or what I think is a Summer Walker type beat. I use Serato Sample, Sublab, a few other little gadgets and gadgets, or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I'm gonna show you what was kind of going through my head and how I made it, and let's get into it and see what would happen. First thing I started with was I got a sample from my boy Leon out in Germany. Love the power of the internet. Played some crazy acoustic guitar. This is what he sent me. Let me go through and play it real quick. So fire. He had some other elements too. You'll hear him as I let the beat go. But that's one thing is I cannot play the guitar, and I love the guitar. So I work with a lot of guitar players or find loops of guitars or different thing like that. Like if you don't have any friends that play the guitar, you can go on Fiverr, all types of other sites and find, well, man, I've had a granola bar and that thing is like stuck in my throat from this water. If you don't have a friend that plays the guitar or anything like whatever one of your favorite instruments is, go around and find one. I remember I found one. I went to my college campus, posted a flyer in the music school saying, hey, any musicians want to come to the studio for some gig work, let me know. I had one of my best saxophone players to this day showed up 10 years ago for that gig. So yeah, keep searching. But let's go ahead and get into the beat. So I brought it into Serato Sample, and this is originally where it was. And so what I like about Serato Sample a lot is it shows you the key and the BPM. 99% of the time it's accurate. I will get on Serato about that, is it's not always, even right now you can tell. It has 150, 155 is the actual sample BPM because Leon put it there, but then Serato put his 77.86, which is 77.5 is what it should be. So that's why that is one complaint. Serato, hit me up. I got a few things I can help you with to make this better for producers. But that's another thing. This is not paid by them. So, but I like using the tool. As it is the best pitch, being able to pitch up and down is the best tool you can use. I love that part about it. And I'm gonna show you how I did it on this beat and with the tempo changes it has. So this is the original. I wanted to take it down a couple keys to make it fit more octaves for some different singers and things like that. And I wanted to slow it down a good bit, so I ended up putting it down to 60 was the BPM I used, but because Serato was a little off, I had to put in 60.2 and make it work, some producer stuff. But yeah, pitched it down, put an RC20 on it, pad matcher. Crazy. Here's some fire stuff. So I end up bouncing it down to audio. Then the next thing, I started filtering the sample. One thing really cool about Serato Sample is they have some different filters on there. And the reverse action. This is one of the main things I forgot. So here I put that reverse in it. Those you can set right here. So you can put a cue point wherever you want. Say you put a cue point at the, the coming in. You put reverse right here. You can hit that wherever you want. So, these apply to your keys as well. So that was something I ended up applying to one of the verse parts. Put RC20 on it. Added some more filters. Then I brought a percussion sound into Serato Sample as well. It already worked perfectly into my E minor where I had set it, luckily, but the tempo was not where I wanted it, so I ended up having to raise it up. Added a couple filters on it as well, and then put RC20 on it as well. And I got to get an RC20 sponsorship at some point for sure. next thing, I started doing some drums. I brought in Geist to do my drums, and I'll show you what I did with this. So, basic kick. What's cool about Geist is I'll lay a pattern down. Here's my pattern I made. You can click out of the pattern and drag it into your Logic, and the MIDI will be right there to mess with. So my kick. Make sure I get out. Another channel I put my snare. And all these I did in Geist and then just drug the MIDI over on the Logic. Next part, I put some chopped in hats that I chopped. So I brought a loop in here. See if I can play the whole loop. Brought a loop and then chopped it up some and got my own hats. And then the swing on Geist is really cool. I like it a lot, so I turned it up kind of just very light, but it adds a lot of flavor to it. Then I added a basic two-step hi-hat from Geist. Then I also added kind of one more Geist plugin, changed the repeats and the pitches in Geist and did a little bit in Effectrix and added this back hat. So I had this two-step hat. And I also added this hat. And Geist, you need to holler at me too, because I got a few tips to make yours better, because instead of being able to drag your MIDI when you do some pitch changes in Geist, you have to record the audio. It's a whole ordeal. I'll explain in another video, maybe some of my rants, but I can definitely help them with some things. But I love Geist, great plugin. And then I started bringing in some bass lines with Sublab, one of my new favorite bass 808 VSTs. So I'm gonna copy this just to make sure I don't mess up what I did too much. Here we go. So this is the bass line I ended up coming with at the intro. So at first, this is how it was an 808. But with Sublab, what's really cool, I really like a lot, is I ended up pushing the attack back on the volume, putting the pitch back just a little bit, the filter, and now you got a crazy rise in bass. And I got glides in here too. You can pull up the glide. The glide's already on here, legato, is what I like, instant. I might change it to 1/16. Let's see what it sounds like. Too glidey for me. How I like how I had it. So yeah, I pushed the attack back, did some other things too on it, and then came up with this. It rises like crazy. And then I'm putting 808 for, you know, when the harder drums come in, I wanted to do an 808. So I started messing with the 808s in Sublab as well. And then, you know, I brought the drums in, obviously. And the last little trick I want to show and something I did on this beat, if you're not sure how to do automation on some different parts in Logic, this is like a quick automation. So to go into the hook, I did this filter, and you go down into your read section over here, change it to touch, and then I'll show you exactly what I did. I'll redo it. You go have your EQ, already set it how you want before you play the song, because when you start playing, it's going to record any information you add on to the effects or EQ or anything like that. So this is what I did. I make it rise itself. And I'm doing this with my finger, bringing it up, you know, just clicking and holding and bringing the EQ some. So yeah, that's a pretty sneak preview of my Summer Walker type beat with my boy Leon. Shout out to Leon for giving me the crazy loop. You know, it was obviously easy to make. It's dope. It's easy to make a dope beat when you have a dope loop. That's my point. So work with a lot of dope people. I'm good on the keys, but if I really want crazy keys, then I know I need somebody classically trained. You know, I'm not too, you know, proud to make a big record. That's one reason why Dr. Dre is one of the greatest producers of all time, because he realizes he can bring people together and make really dope records, and he knows his strengths in the industry and what he does with it. So, but yeah, I appreciate y'all checking it out. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Let me know if there's any artists you want me to make a type beat for, or if you want a part 2 to any of the ones I've done. Appreciate you checking me out as always. Studio loud tonight. Been working, so I'm gonna get back to work myself. Y'all take it easy.